My guests tonight include Lord Boothby and Miss Mai Zetterling. But first, one of our rising stars of the theatre, a member of the Royal Shakespeare Company, once described as the sex queen of that company. Indeed, the point about her is that the critics spend as much time discussing her physical attributes as assessing her acting ability. One called her an amorous boa constrictor. Others have called her sensual, graceful, and the final accolade, and I quote, "She's especially telling in projecting sluttish eroticism." She is Miss Helen Mirren.
Sluttishly erotic for you.
That was nice. What do you think when people say things like that about you?
They're free to their own opinions of me. They can think what they like.
Does it bother you?
No. I mean,
Does it flatter you?
no.
Does it annoy you?
No.
Just doesn't move you at all?
Not in the slightest,
I
in
see.
any direction whatsoever.
Do you get fed up of being sort of branded in that way, in a sense, though? You know, of saying that she's a sort of sex
No, I
queen?
think there must be some truth in it. People keep saying it. There's...
I think they're right.
I hope they're not, but you are what you are, and you are what other people think you are, and you can't avoid that.
Do you think, I mean, you are, in quotes, a serious actress?
In quotes?
Yes.
What do you mean in quotes?
Well, you know,
How
it's
dare
because it's a kind of cliche. People say, well, a serious actress as
yes,
opposed to
I
an
see.
unserious actress. But do you find, in fact, that this, what could be best described as your equipment, in fact, hinders you, perhaps, in that pursuit?
I'd like you to explain what you mean by my equipment in
Well, people watching...
great detail.
Well, your physical attributes.
You mean my fingers?
No, I meant your...
Come on, spit it out.
I meant your figure.
My figure? Sorry, what was the beginning of the question? I've forgotten.
The question was, do you find that your figure, your physical attributes, which people always go on about, hinder you in your pursuit of the ambition of being a successful actress?
A successful and serious actress, because serious actresses can't have big bosoms. Is that what you mean?
Well, I think that they might sort of detract from the performance, if you know what I mean.
Really? I can't think that can necessarily be true. I mean, what a crummy performance if people are obsessed with the size of your bosom or anything else. I would hope that the performance and the play and the living relationship between all the people on the stage and all the people in the audience overcome such boring questions. Really.
Boring questions?
Pretty boring in the end, yeah.
What's that?
That was going to be my headdress, but I decided it looked rather silly, so I thought I'd carry it instead. It's also my nervousness gauge, I think. I don't know if I dare hold it up and test it out.
It's doing okay.
Not very good.
Is that a tattoo mark there?
Yes, that's a tattoo.
Oh,
I picked that up in the Merchant Navy.
One
drunken night.
When you were a Matterlow?
Yes, that's right.
Did you really, though? I mean, how did you get that?
Did I really? Actually, I got it on an Indian reservation. It was done by an Indian girl. The Indians tattoo themselves very casually. It's no big deal with them. And I got sort of inspired with their attitude to it.
Are you glad you did
Drunk
it?
2 glasses of brandy and had it done, fainted on the spot, and woke up with my permanent mark on it, on myself. Yes, I'm very, very pleased I did it.
It's because, in fact, you can't get them off, can you?
No, I never would have it taken off.
Yeah. Tell me, Helen, you've got, as we talked a bit about, we'll leave off this sort of sexy image thing that the critics write about. But in fact, for somebody who has achieved that, you came from a remarkably sort of sober background, didn't you?
I hope my parents are listening to hear you say that. Yeah, well, my parents were pretty sober, I suppose. I mean,
what
they
kind
didn't
of people
drink.
Were they?
I hate calling people anything. They were my parents, my beloved parents. I hope they're watching.
Well, I presume that they had jobs. People are different. They look different. They talk different.
Yes, but
they have different jobs. I mean, it's absurd to pretend that they're not.
Yes, but it's very dangerous to stick labels. I mean, if I was to say my parents were middle class, everyone's got a different idea of what middle class means.
Well, were they middle class, in your view?
Well, I suppose so, yes.
And you went to convent as well, didn't you?
Yeah, I went to a convent grammar school.
You enjoy that?
Not very much. I don't like schools. I was a teacher later on. I didn't enjoy that either. I don't find the school system at all conducive to education.
Did you find being at convent, in any sense, repressive?
I find all schools repressive. I don't think the fact that it was a convent made it any more repressive. There were a few silly rules, like not sitting down on the grass on a hot, sunny day when all you wanted to do was sit down on the grass, and not undoing your top button here, and not rolling up your sleeves, and wearing long grey woolly socks. But those are unimportant things. The much greater question of lack of liberty is what happens to people's minds in schools.
What happened to yours?
I don't know. I'm still finding out, I suppose. I think you go on living with what happened to you in your early life for the rest of your life.
Did you want to be an actress at that point, when you were at convent?
Yes, I did. Oh, very much so, yes. It was... No, I first discovered I wanted to be an actress when I was at primary school, actually. I played the Virgin Mary. Why do they laugh?
I didn't laugh. I kept a straight face.
And I was really rather good. People said I was good, anyway. And I got that terrific feeling of, I don't know, of being good at something, I suppose, and other people recognising it. I remember that very clearly, that feeling.
And you've never been sidetracked?
Now, my first guest is that rare combination of great actress and film star. Her new movie, The Queen, is wonderful, and her portrayal of Her Majesty, the stuff that Oscars are made of. Take my word for it. Ladies and gentlemen, Helen Mirren. I have to tell you that I sat in that film, I kept thinking, what's the Queen doing with all those actors? It's an amazing portrayal. You look so much like her, too. It's quite extraordinary.
I do. You know, when I was younger and I used to wear, I used to play parts with a dark wig, people often said, you know who you look like? You look just like Princess Margaret. So obviously there is a genetic similarity there somewhere or other. Although I hope when people look at me like this, they don't immediately go, God, she looks just like the Queen.
I mean, it's a wonderful performance. It's a very fine film, too. It's beautifully written. It's an intelligent and funny script, too, and sad as well. When you were approached, though, to play this part, there must have been a bit of misgiving, mustn't there? I mean,
oh, more than misgiving. I was terrified.
Were you?
I was more frightened of this than any role I've ever undertaken. Not because of the emotional demands of the role, but because, you know, it's a hot potato. And you know that you're going to be under the most incredible scrutiny. There's going to be an enormous amount of press scrutiny. You don't know, you know, whether you're going to get it right or not. So it was very, very nerve-wracking, but it was a wonderful script. And all of our work as actors comes from the script. And it was a really beautifully judged script, I thought, by Peter Morgan.
Oh, it was that, certainly. But then, of course, you have to get her right, don't you? That's the other thing. It's not like inventing a part.